How's it going, everybody? My name's Owen, coming at you from the other side of the camera this time. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona for the 50th anniversary of Barrett-Jackson. Now we picked out our top 5 vehicles. Come along with us to figure out what we found. Alright, so kicking off my list this year at Barrett-Jackson, we have the 2014 AMG G63. However, this one was done up by Brabus, so it's technically the B63S 700. It has 6 driven wheels, 5 lockable differentials, and 3 rigid, autonomously operational axles. Now, as you can see, this isn't exactly a small vehicle. I'm 6'4". It stands pretty high. It also has a curb weight of just over 8,000 pounds. So when AMG built and Brabus upgraded the 5.5 liter twin turbo V8, you would have thought there'd be a little bit of power. Now it does have a 7.4 second 0 to 60 time. But when you're looking at a tank like this, you can understand why it only has a top speed of 100 miles per hour. It was in fact built for the Australian Army in 2007. Now the one other thing with this truck being made by Brabus is there is speculation that there won't be any more than 200 ever made, which is pretty interesting. And this one in specific was previously owned by a Dan Bilzerian. All right, next one up on my list is this 59 Pontiac Bonneville. It screams to be looked at with its Porsche blue paint job. It's the 3rd old car on my list, and I think I'm just way too old at heart. It was fully restored by Air Park Motorsport. It took them over 2 years to do this resto. Now, we had the extreme pleasure of visiting the shop and meeting the people that actually had a hand in redoing this entire vehicle. And when I tell you this is done perfectly in every way, modern conveniences, restoring the old, I can assure you that it's done with the best quality possible. This Bonneville features a 9-inch rear diff. It's got vintage air climate control, power seats, LED headlights, custom engine cover that is beautifully airbrushed, and it was featured at the 2018 SEMA show. Alrighty, next one on the list is this 1963 custom Chevy split window. And you know, when it comes to Corvettes, the split windows, personal favorite, just best body lines possible. This one is fitted with a 5-speed manual transmission with 535 horsepower coming from its big old V8. It's got digital gauges, brand new disc brakes, and the interior, it has the Z06 leather seats, just to give you some more comfort while you're driving an older car. Now, one of the things I love about the Corvette and has always stuck in my mind has been back in the 60s, there was a program that was run by a car dealer, and he started leasing brand new Corvettes to astronauts for $1 a year. Now, many astronauts have owned Corvettes, not the same model, but when it comes to look and feel, I couldn't ask for anything better, and I'm pretty sure this model will be a little bit quicker than the one Buzz Aldrin drove. This entire vehicle was built for one purpose: to satisfy the most discriminating market towards McLaren, the US. Now, that is a market that is, in my opinion, overly saturated in V8 power, practical utility, and comfort. So it is definitely a market in desperate need of some British styling and unrepenting power. Now, this vehicle was built with a road first, not track first idea in mind, but it didn't stop them from putting in an 824 horsepower twin turbo 4-liter V8, putting out a top speed of 218 miles per hour. That makes it McLaren's fastest two-seater to date that they have produced. Okay, next up on my list is this beautiful 1966 Chevy K10, completely restored and customized. I mean, what's not to love? I've always loved the Chevy K10s. They were probably one of my favorite vehicles ever, trucks, pickups. Started in the 1960s, 1960 to be specific, went all the way till 2002 for production. Absolute shame that they cut it. Now this truck, being in 1966, is a first gen, definitely one of my favorites. First and second gens. The late to mid 60s was always good. This one ended up turning into the second gens, which had a more squared off body. But this specific vehicle brought in the drop center frame, the independent front suspension, and those were all features that carried over into the second gen, and they ended up making their way into the Cheyenne badge line when they actually moved away from the second gens on their own. Now this one is a little bit more than your average farm truck for the day. They managed to pair 270 horsepower, 380 foot-pounds of torque with a 7.4 liter LS4. So it's got a little bit of get up and go. It's completely modern. It's got the disc brakes, you got power steering, redone interior, they got a billet steering wheel, fuel rims, beautiful tires, and the color is just to die for. What a dick.